I want to talk about something that I think messes with almost everyone who's been in love or thinks they have, which is this confusion between the feeling of love and love itself. And I don't mean that as some cold love is just a choice kind of type. I actually think the feeling is real, but it's just not what we think it is. So here's the thing that got me thinking about this. You know the stretch early on with someone, or even just a moment, a specific night where everything is heightened. Like you're more awake than usual. You're replaying a text they sent. You feel it in your chest, actually feel it, like there's a physical location for it. And I think for most of us, when we say, I miss being in love, what we're actually saying is, I miss that state, I miss that flavor, I miss that feeling, that specific nervous system weather. And the problem is that state was never really about that person. I mean, it was triggered by that person, sure, but what it's actually made of is uncertainty. It's your brain stewing. Like, I don't fully know this person yet. I don't know if they'll text me back. I don't know if where this is gonna go or how this is gonna end up in next 2 months. And that not knowing is what produces the ache and thrill as well. It's it's suspense. It's the same machinery as watching a movie you're invested in, except your own life is the plot. So when the high fades and it actually fades, like that's not a bug. That's just what happens once you actually get to know someone. And a lot of people interpret that as the love fading, like, oh, the spark's gone, like something's wrong. I don't know what is going on, but this person, I now no longer feel the same kind of feelings as I did before with this person. But I don't think that's right. Obviously, I think that's what's gone is the uncertainty, the suspense resolved. Like you know them now, and so the question becomes like, what's left once the not knowing is gone? And I think the honest answer is everything that was underneath it the whole time, but you just couldn't hear clearly because the high was so loud. Like, think about what actually made you fall for someone. If you go back and really look at it, it's rarely the abstract feeling itself. It's specific. It's the way they explain something they're excited about, like they can't help themselves. It's how they treat a waiter, or how they are with their weird uncle at Thanksgiving, or the fact that they remember something small you said 3 weeks ago, months ago, that you've forgotten you said. Those are the actual ingredients. The high just made you notice them faster. It was like a spotlight, but a spotlight isn't the thing it's pointing at. And I think this is where people get into trouble, because once the spotlight turns off, they think the stage was empty, and they either go looking for the high somewhere else, new person, new spark, same cycle, or they just stay and just quietly resent the relationship for not feeling like it used to, without ever really asking what used to was made of. So how do you actually stay in love without needing the high to keep proving it to you? I think the shift is you stop grading the relationship by how it makes your chest feel in a given moment, and you start grading it by what you'd actually miss if it were gone. Like real tests, like, not do I feel butterflies today, but if this person just wasn't there tomorrow, let's say, like what would the shape of that absence be? And for people who've actually built something, that answer is usually enormous, even in the most boring, uneventful, uh, uneventful evening. Let's say, like boredom with someone, real boredom, comfortable boredom. That's not the absence of love. It might actually just be one of the most um, deepest and honest form of love instead, because it means you're not performing for each other anymore. Like, nobody's trying to be impressive. You're just there for that person. And there's this idea I keep coming back to: a campfire versus a wildfire. A wildfire is a spectacular. It's the thing people write songs about. But you can't sit next to it. It's not built to be lived next to. It's built to burn fast and consume everything around it and then be gone. A campfire, smaller, less impressive from a distance, but you can't sit next to a campfire for hours. You can fall asleep next to it. It keeps you warm without threatening to take the whole forest down with it. And I think that's the basically the trait people don't realize they're making when they stop chasing the high. You're not settling for less fire, you're choosing the kind of fire you can actually live beside. Now, I'm not saying don't miss the high. I think you're allowed to miss it genuinely without guilt. Missing that specific electricity doesn't mean something's broken or it's flawed in you. It just means that you're human and that particular sensation was good and now it's gone. The same way a lot of good, intense, unsustainable things are good and then gone. The mistake isn't missing. The mistake is treating the absence as evidence that the relationship has failed. Because if you actually look at it, look at what stays, the noticing someone's mood shift before they say anything, the specific way they laugh at something only the two of you would find funny, the fact that they are the person you'd call at 3 a.m. without context or anything, and you wouldn't hesitate. None of that needed the high to exist. Like it was there before the high showed up, and it's still there after the high leaves. It was never the headline. Like it was always the actual story. Like the high was just a trailer. So I guess if I had to put it simply, love without the high isn't a lesser version of love. It's love with the noise turned down enough that you can finally hear what was actually being said the whole time. That's about it in this video. Thank you for listening.